We got a mileage of
I have no comments on that.
21, I want to say. Maruti Espresso guy who came from the side on the back, hit the car a little bit. The car didn't even move.
Like a prior Swift owner, I suppose.
Yeah. I really like the ventilated seats as well. Seats works. They
We
work.
love it. Yes.
Fun fact, the ground clearance of the Slavia is more than in Nova Crista. When it's 45 degrees outside, you will find the AC light.
Which I also have to agree with, even though I don't care about cars.
And then there's like a little bit of creaky sound. She actually likes it. She thinks that it's...
I feel like all of these sounds are so comforting.
I have enjoyed the music system in this car to
100%.
Yeah.
So every time you would sit on a test, I would take 1 second, hum apna gana lagayenge.
Yes. A notification light went on saying that your coolant level is low. Now I will put words.
Yes.
Yeah, I will try and
Put
elaborate.
car words to what I
I
said.
will try and elaborate
Make
that
it
a little
auto.
bit. This channel is brought to you by the 01 Media Network by Zerodha. With their support, I'll be helping you spend your money wisely. Today we are going to be covering our first year ownership experience of this car. This is Shreya. She's my wife. I have invited her because I feel like it's important to have somebody slightly more objective who doesn't care about cars as much, who doesn't drive also. She's just somebody who's sat in this car as a passenger all along and has a point of view.
Subject matter expert.
Yeah, subject matter expert of the passenger seat. But we are going to be talking about a few things. One, what the context of this car is, what is it used for primarily, how much have we driven, what all have we done in this car, and so on. Second, pros. There are plenty of pros of this car, and then there are plenty of cons as well. So we'll cover that. We'll also talk to you about some accessories that we purchased along the year so that our experience has sort of become better. Yeah, with that, let's jump in. Shreya, anything you want to add before we proceed?
You're going to get me a coffee.
Yes, that's the
bribe.
bait.
That is the reason. That is the real reason.
Yes.
Okay.
And the other real reason is that it will also attract some female viewers to the channel because, fun fact, 98% of my audience is male. So hopefully with you around, some more females come and watch it. But jokes aside. So let's jump in. First and foremost, let's go back in time. Why did we buy this car when we were buying this car? This was also one of the best performing videos of the channel. If you haven't seen that, go check it out, where I talk about my buying journey in a lot more detail. But essentially, we had a Swift, we still have that Swift, and we wanted to upgrade to a safer car and slightly better car. And our budget was somewhere in the ballpark of 25. And we did not want an SUV as such. I did. But I'm saying we, it's mostly me. She was oblivious. She's like, yeah, whatever, do what you want. She was just making sure that the budget doesn't get exceeded.
Yes.
So I did not want a SUV as such. I was actually looking for a second-hand Superb. I did not end up buying that because I felt it was overpriced. And one thing led to another, and I finally landed up with a new Slavia. If you want to know more about how I landed on this car, you can go check out that video. It has a lot more detail. But the primary use case of this car really is office and back. So for the most part, it drives about 15 to 20 kilometers a day, 5 days a week. On the weekends, doesn't go much, maybe about 10-15 kilometers again on the weekends. All in all, in the last 1 year, it has done 7,500 kilometers. I have taken it to Dehradun once, and I've taken it to Rishikesh once. I think those were the two outstation trips that we've taken in this car. Rishikesh, no surprises, we went to Western Himalayas. Everybody goes there. Why? Because of merit points.
Yeah.
But anyway, that in fact, it was the first trip. The car had just come, and we took it, I think, on the third, fourth day or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The first. Yes.
It was within the first week that we took the car to Rishikesh. So anyway, that's the long and short of the context of this car. Anything I'm missing? Do we use it for anything else?
Not really.
There is one thing which I am not able to use it for, which is when I go, the only use case of the Swift right now is that it helps me carry my cycle. Now, if any of you carry big stuff like large cargo, then this car is not for you. The boot is big, but because it's a sedan, you can't fold the seats, but I can't put my cycle in it because there's a separator in between, right? Unlike the Superb, where the entire thing opens up and you have the full length of the car. In this, you can't do that. So I can't put my cycle in this, as a result of which I have to take the Swift because there I fold the seats. And Swift is a much smaller car, but it actually gets used for that a lot.
Yeah. Our kid loves it.
Our kid loves the
He
Swift.
will not let the Swift go.
Yeah. So I think he loves it because he's a toddler and he can see outside the car a lot better because the back seat in this is slightly lower, and so I think that's why he loves it. So that's that. Now let's get into the pros. What are the pros of this car? What have I really enjoyed about this car? I think definitely the driving pleasure. It's an insanely quick car to drive. Every time I accelerate, it brings a smile to my face. It is extremely planted. It is super solid on the highways. We've done trips, and you can also testify to this, that when we've done trips to Jim Corbett in a Swift, we were a lot more tired. As opposed to in this, we were not tired at all after those.
I usually don't get tired when someone else is driving, but no jokes apart, I feel you don't even realize when it hits like a higher speed as opposed to the Swift where even as a passenger, you know that, okay, this is hitting some kind of speed right now.
Yeah.
This has been pretty smooth.
Yeah, and I think I joke around by saying, इस गाड़ी का जो zone 2, zone 3 है, वो Swift का zone 5 है. Athletes will understand, but basically, yeah, it's a lot more powerful and it's got a lot of gas in the tank, and it urges you to push it. And it's a 1.5 DSG automatic top of the line model. So yeah, I think the biggest pro of this car is the driving pleasure, the driving stability on the highways. Even if it's at a 180, you will not feel it at that speed because it's just so heavy and planted and drives really well. So that is the biggest pro. The other pros are that I think from a tech standpoint, it hasn't really malfunctioned. Nothing has really gone wrong with this car as such. Whatever's been promised here works for the most part, except one small thing, which is the wireless charger.
Yeah.
The wireless charger is a little moody. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But
we don't even try it. Like, we don't even use it.
Because honestly, our commute time is so little, and even in that commute time, we end up using the wired Android Auto. And when it just doesn't have wireless Android Auto. Because it has wired Android Auto, the phone is charging anyway because the wire is connected. So you don't really need the wireless charger, and the wireless charger is a little moody. I will testify. I will definitely share that. The other pros of this car we were discussing is that the back seat is actually really comfortable.
Yeah, it's quite comfortable.
She sits there sometimes, and she tells me, I've never sat in the back seat, and she tells me it's a really comfortable back seat, ample amount of leg room, good seating angle. Good comfortable seats.
I don't say it in that technical term. It's just comfortable is all I know.
I'm putting words in your mouth. That here is what you mean by comfortable.
Stuff like leg space. It is comfortable.
Yeah.
I like sitting in the back seat as well.
Yeah. So there you go. That's a pro. What else? The other pro is the boot space.
Yeah,
I know I criticized that I can't fold because of that separator. But I think the boot space in general for like long station trips is amazing.
Yeah, the cycle is like edge case. I remember when we went to Dehradun, we took so much stuff with us. We took everyone's like feeding chair and everything.
Yeah.
So
we took a lot of toddler stuff and it all fit in it, just like consumed it, and the boot is nice and big. Also, I want to caveat we're coming from a Swift. So our expectations in life are slightly low. It's like we've gone from a Swift to a Slavia, so it's a big jump for us. So we're generally happy with this. I also want to caveat that. Okay, boot space. The other one which has grown on me is the looks. Yeah. I really like how this car looks.
Yeah.
It wasn't my first choice when I was thinking about buying a car, but over the past 1 year, I have seen this car and it has grown on me from a look standpoint. I just love how sleek it looks, how stunning it looks. And so that's a pro. Another pro for me is the ground clearance. Fun fact, the ground clearance of the Slavia is more than an Innova Krista. Can you believe that? I did not know this when I was buying the car. I found it later. But it's really high and it has never scraped any speed breaker with a full car. And it's really, really good from a biggest con that people say is, hey, it's a sedan, it's too low. Yeah. Doesn't apply to this car. Super good ground clearance. I think it's 176 or 178 hasn't touched a single speed breaker in all this year, and it's been super smooth from that standpoint.
Pothole navigation is as good as you can expect.
Yeah, and that's another one. It's held. It's fine. I've taken it on really bad roads. I've taken it on really bad potholes. It's not really given me any trouble so far. Touch wood. So yeah, I think those are the pros. Any other pros that we can think of or we are missing?
I think it's value for money. I mean, I know you started off with like a higher budget, and then I'm happy, you're happy at a lesser price point. So
she's happy because we got it for the price that we got it for. But yeah, value for money for sure. I don't know what the current prices of the Slavia are, but we got this for 16.14 on road with a BH number plate. You should go check out that video if you want to know how and what the negotiation was and what the flash sale was and all of that stuff. But yeah, we got it at a great price, and I honestly don't think at a 16 lakh price point you can get a car as stable and as good and as comfortable as this. Another pro is the ventilated seats. I really like the ventilated seats as well, especially in summer.
Spoken like a prior Swift owner, I suppose.
Yeah. A prior Swift owner getting ventilated seats is also a big one.
Love it.
So yeah, ventilated seats works.
We love it. Yes.
We haven't gotten any seat covers and all put because one, airbags, two, you don't want to mess around with the airbags because this has 6 airbags, so, and it's on the seats as well, and 2, because of the ventilated seats. So we haven't gotten any seat covers put. I really like the auto start stop feature. I know people don't like it. I really like it. It helps me save fuel. It helps with fuel efficiency for sure. I also think they've done something really clever. What they've done is when you put the AC on the lowest setting, then this auto start stop doesn't work because it, like, basically they disable it in the back end, because the thing is that if you do this auto start stop, then the AC doesn't become as effective, right? Because the car is not running, then the AC is not as effective. So I think it's a really clever touch to make sure that for an already weak AC, you are not letting that auto start stop system interrupt it. So that's a good thing. But in general, I like the auto start stop. Again, maybe it's my Swift days talking. But
this is becoming more of a Slavia versus Swift than a year-in review.
It's okay. It is what it is in my review. I come from a Swift. I have come to a Slavia, so I will compare it with that. That's my benchmark. Oh, there's another pro. I want to call it out. Like, the build quality is so solid. So thankfully, we haven't had any major accidents in the last year. But there was this one time that there's a small Maruti Espresso guy who came from the side on the back and like hit the car a little bit. The car didn't even move. I didn't even feel it that he's done anything. And I could see in the side view mirror that obviously it's an Espresso, so that car moved a lot. But this guy just like, yeah, whatever. He didn't even feel it. And I went back and saw, and there was barely any like dent or scratches also. So in general, it just gives me more confidence that the reason I bought this for the safety, for the build quality, I think it's doing well on that front. One more pro that I really like about this car is that if I put it in this manual mode and then I use these pedal shifters, I really enjoy using them once in a while. And I'll tell you where I found them really useful. I found them useful on the hills, because in my Rishikesh trip, I was getting used to the automatic and all of that. So at that point in time, I found these manual pedal shifters quite helpful to make sure that the thrust and the acceleration was on point given where we were in terms of our uphill. So I thought I'll talk about that as well. This is a pretty nifty feature, especially on the hills. Okay, I think we're done with the pros.
Yeah, but I think if we're moving to cons, then we can start with ventilated seats moving to AC.
Yes, the biggest con of this car.
Which I also have to agree with, even though I don't care about cars.
So I also want to caveat that, look, the AC is not all that bad, but it's not the best. We can agree that we live in Delhi in 40-45 degrees. Where it's 45 degrees outside, you will find the AC lacking. I think that's a fair way to put it out
sure.
there.
And also, this is when we're sitting, like, good talk, he would probably complain a lot more about it. I'm not sure how it is in the back seat, because I've not done 45 degrees in the back seat. I'm guessing it's worse.
Yeah, so I don't know about the back seat either.
Yeah.
But at least even in the front seat, I think the AC could be stronger.
Yeah.
Given Delhi summers, there are at least 3 to 4 days in a year when I'm like, man, I wish this AC was stronger. And especially when I go in my parents' Honda Amaze, which is definitely a segment lower than this car, and that AC chills you to the bone, but this AC does not.
Even our trusted Swift.
Sometimes you feel like this AC is also stronger than the Slavia AC. So yeah, I think AC is definitely could have been better. But would you say that it's so bad that you would want to sell this car off today and like can't make your peace with it?
No,
right?
I mean, I feel like it's, for instance, right now it's quite comfortable. It's what, 3:30?
Yeah, it's 3:30 and the temperature is
peak summer,
35 degrees. So it's very comfortable right now.
Very comfortable, right?
So that's what I said. For the most part of the year, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's
For
just
sure.
those 5 to 7 days in the peak of May and June when the AC is lacking. And I think it's only fair that we call it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the first con, AC. The AC also makes the breathing sound.
Which I like.
She likes the
find it
breathing
very
sound.
soothing.
I'm indifferent to the breathing sound. It only comes out when it's really quiet. Like you can only hear it when it's completely quiet and you're nothing, there's no outside ambient noise, none of that. Then you'll hear it. Oh, another pro, is the music system. I really like the music system.
100%.
I have enjoyed the music system in this car to no end. I also like that it does not have its own virtual assistant. So all of these steering controls connect to Google Assistant. They work seamlessly. All the steering controls are very ergonomically placed. It's all very, like it's a very, very ergonomic, functional cabin, and it's a good. I don't like that it has too big a screen and it's intruding, and it's very like everything is in the right place. So I quite like it, and I really like the music system. Even though this particular model doesn't have that additional bass, it does not have that subwoofer. It is without the subwoofer, but I still think it's great. Okay, those were the pros.
Oh, I remember. Wait, I remember how we used to test out the music system when we would like test drive cars. We used to listen to Goosebumps because that has a good bass. So that's like our bass testing song.
That's a good one. I remember that now.
So every time we would sit on a test drive, we'd take 1 second, hum apna gana lagayenge.
Yes.
And then we used to play that.
Goosebumps. Yeah, so the bass is good. In general, music system is great.
Yeah.
What are the other cons? So we spoke about the AC. I think the other con is the fuel efficiency. The fuel efficiency, okay.
It's medium, not like con, but yeah.
Even there, I think there is a pre-1,000 kilometers and post-1,000 kilometers. There is a huge difference. So I never really understood this concept of 1,000 kilometers and the engine opening up and all of that, except for this car, I saw it. So when we did the first Rishikesh trip, we got really bad fuel efficiency because the car was literally out of the showroom when we took it there. Then we did a Dehradun trip, I think after a few months, and that's the time when it sort of crossed that 1,000 kilometers threshold. And in that Dehradun trip, we got a mileage of, I think, 21, I want to say, or like 19 or some really high number, 19, 21 or something. I have a screenshot, I will put it up. It's actually on the community post also. I was so excited. I was like, what is this mileage? So we got really good mileage there. And then after that day, even in the city, my mileage improved drastically. The highway mileage was great. And in the city, my mileage before that Dehradun trip was somewhere in the ballpark of 8. And then that improved, went up to about 11.
Yeah.
So I consider
12, I thought.
11, 12 is what it usually uses a mileage of in the city. I have also realized that there is a petrol pump. So I get my petrol added from a Coco pump. And I get better mileage there as opposed to the Indian oil pump, which like is a privately owned pump, and I don't get as good mileage there. So that's another thing I've learned recently. But so you should also basically compare mileage across petrol pumps because they vary quite a bit. So yeah, mileage, obviously you can't compare the city mileage to the Swift. It's a much more powerful engine. It's obviously offering you a lot more in the car as well. But am I complaining about an 11 mileage? I don't think so. I'm okay. My running is not much. I've done 7,500 kilometers in a year. I'm happy. It's a beast of a performance. I'm not complaining. But for some of you out there, this might be on the thirstier side. Anything on the mileage that you...
I have no comments on that.
Okay, great. So with mileage out of the way, what else? What are the other cons?
I mean, sometimes it makes that like the kind of sound that you would expect on a leather sofa, I don't know.
I know what you mean. Now I will put words.
Yes.
I will try and elaborate.
Put car words to what I said.
I will try and elaborate
Make
that
it
a little
auto.
bit.
Yes.
But essentially, there is some creaking sounds. Not from the front as much. I saw this autocar review recently where he said that the front makes sound. In my case, front doesn't make any noise. The only part that some noise comes from, I think, is the rear right door, where if I'm taking it on like a climb and then it's going down and then there's like a little bit of creaky sound. She actually likes it. She thinks that it's...
I feel like all of these sounds are so comforting.
So she likes it like a leather sofa, as she said. I am indifferent. I don't really care. But there is that sound that we should mention for sure. Another con which I want to call out. Actually, let me jump to the accessories and then I'll talk more about that. You're saying something?
Yeah, this time we have to stop at the coffee shop.
Yes. We've taken 2 rounds around the coffee shop. Coffee is why she's here, so we will stop there. But I think, sorry, going back, let's talk in the next section, which is the accessories. Yeah. Some of the things that I've purchased, which has really helped. One is a dash cam. I think it's actually done really well. This is a Red Tiger dash cam. It's available easily on Flipkart, Amazon. I think it's for about 14K, something around that. I did some research on this, and you want a dash cam that works really well in the night, so night resolution, and so that's why I got this one. I will leave the link in case any of you are interested in buying this. The only other con I can think of with this dash cam, however, is that actually the con of the car, that this is connected to the USB here, right? And this USB doesn't switch off. So even if the car is off and you have parked and gone, your cam is running. Ideally, there should be an auto cutoff, basically where you connect this 12-watt port. This should ideally auto cut off, but in the Slavia it doesn't happen. And so every time I enter the car, I have to push this in to switch on the dash cam, and when I'm leaving, I have to pull it out to make sure that the dash cam turns off. That's one slight irritating thing every time I have to do, and I don't enjoy it. But I think that's one thing I want to call out. So that's on the accessories. What else did I buy? You want to say something? Air purifier. Yes.
Oh yeah.
This car
correct.
doesn't have an air purifier. We bought this Cubo air purifier.
Really good.
It has worked out well. It's really good. It's doing its job. I've actually gotten a air filter to like that air, what do you call that? The tester, which tests the quality of the air. I've actually gotten that once to check, and it works. So I can testify.
And it works in like peak Delhi winter.
Yeah. So we have an air purifier. It's a Cubo one. It also fits in very nicely in a snug way in this cup holder. So it works out well. You can check it out. This is the Cubo one. So yeah, I think those are the two accessories I bought in addition to all of these mounts and all, which I use to record these videos. I think that's pretty much it. It's been a year of seamless ownership with this car. I've really enjoyed it. I look forward to driving it. Few cons here and there which I've shared, but nothing major. From a maintenance standpoint, I know a lot of you keep asking how's the maintenance. To be honest, I have I think a 4-year or a 5-year service maintenance package on this car. It came complimentary with it, with that 16 lakh invoice. I think there's nothing there major to report right now. I took it for its first service, which happened at 15,000 kilometers of first year. Service experience was super smooth. I went to the Skoda. I think it helps if you have a camera in your hand. So I had a camera, and I'll put some footage there as well of what that looked like, but it was super smooth. They did a good job. They did not charge me anything, zero. They did not try to sell me anything. The only thing they said was your wiper's not working, like there's some niggle that I said let it be, it's fine. So I didn't get that changed, but I think apart from that, the service experience was smooth and seamless. Nothing to report.
Which I think is in itself like
it's a pro. Yeah, so far so good.
So far so good.
On the cons front, one more thing that I forgot to mention, not so much of a con, but at some point during the year, a notification light went on here saying that your coolant level is low. So I ignored it for the longest time. It would come, it would go, it would come, it would go. But then finally, what I had ended up doing was I took it to Skoda one day after work, just for like 10 minutes, and they said, sir, coolant actually low hai aapka, can get low for a whole bunch of reasons. They said we can add a new coolant, or we can just add some water and it should work because viscosity is still fine. So I got some water added, and then that notification went off. So I just thought I'd share that as well. Coolant kam ho gaya tha. I don't know why it happened, and he seemed to suggest it's not a big thing. It happens due to a whole bunch of reasons. No point overthinking it. But I thought I'll share that. The other thing which I've also noticed in the car is it's pretty accurate in terms of the tire pressure, because one of my tires gotten punctured, and so it was slowly leaking, and it was very accurate in terms of telling me that, hey, your tire pressure is low, so get that checked. So I think the electricals so far have done a good job of giving me the right indicators and right alerts when they were needed. So yeah, thought I'd share. So yeah, 1 year with the Slavia. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you, Shreya, for humoring me, and as promised, we have got her to the coffee shop. Is it approved by you, this car?
Yes.
Yeah?
Fully.
Yeah.
I love it. You're not going to be making a car resale video anytime soon.
Yeah, we plan to keep this also. I think even if we were to sell it, we'll probably sell the Swift and not sell this because I genuinely enjoy this car. With that, thank you. See you all in the next one. Bye.